The scripture says, can the prey be taken from the mighty? Can the prey be taken from the mighty? Can the prey be taken from the mighty? In other words, let me give you an analogy that or an illustration that will make you to understand what the prophet Isaiah was talking about. Let's say, for example, the lion went to hunt, and the lion caught a prey, caught an animal that the lion caught. The scripture is saying, can that animal be taken from the lion? Is it possible for the animal to be taken from the lion? The scripture is saying, asking you that question, because the lion is mighty, the lion is stronger. It says, can the prey be taken from the mighty, or the captive of the tyrant be rescued? Can the prey, no, shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? When you read it from the English Standard Version, it says, can all the captive of the tyrant be delivered? In other words, the tyrant is the one who is terrorizing everyone, who makes decision on behalf of everyone. The scripture says in verse 26, but thus said the Lord, it is not a man that is speaking. It is not your father that is speaking. It is not your mother that is speaking. It is not your uncle that is speaking. It is not even your spouse that is speaking. The scripture says, but thus said the Lord, even the captive of the mighty, shall be taken away. In other words, God is saying, even the prey that is in the mouth of the lion can be delivered, can be taken away from the mouth of the lion, can be taken away from the claws of the lion, can be taken away from the claws of the lion. And the scripture says, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered.